Good afternoon. If you can hear me, I'm just waiting to connect. Hello, bonjour. Just waiting to connect, just double checking. Looks like it. Bear with me 1 second and I will get straight into it. Welcome along, folks. It looks like we're live. It looks like we are all here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Are we in the group? Are we in the group? Yes, we are. Welcome along to this video training. Why am I scrolling Facebook while I'm video training? Oh my God, it's been one of those days. Well, welcome along to this training. Today, I understand the frustration that you are having. I get it. When you know what to do, you know all the things, you know you need to be drinking water. You know that you need to get your nutrition on point. You know that you need to be moving your ass daily. And you know that you need enough sleep every day. Maybe you also know that you need to limit and reduce your stress. Yes, Bianca, I know, I've heard you say it all before. This video is probably going to hit home for a couple of people who have been in this group for a while. If you are new here, you might find this useful, you might not. But if anything that I mentioned today is a little bit confusing, if you don't actually know what I'm talking about, then by all means, message in the comments below. And sorry, I've got a squeaky chair today. Message in the comments below and I will point you in the right direction of the right video training. I do them weekly, so there's over about 52 trainings in here. If I mention something like the 4 fundamental pillars of health that I just mentioned, then it is likely that I already have a video on that. So I do cover a wide variety of subjects, but this is for you if you are frustrated because you know all the things. Yes, Bianca, I know everything that I need to be doing, but why am I just not taking the steps to do it? Why am I not taking the steps to do it? I talk a lot about mindset. I talk a lot about changing internally before you start changing everything else in your environment. So you might be surprised that it's not all about that today, but there is a little bit of it. And the thing is, there's so much evidence, and my clients have seen so much progress when they change what's going on in here. As soon as they are able to understand and shift and get out their own damn way, they're actually able to create the results that they've been longing for, that they've been desiring and wanting, without changing their diet, without adding things in or taking things away. So first of all, I know that it's super important, and I know it can be frustrating. Okay, I know it can be frustrating when you're like, I know everything, but why am I not actually taking the steps to do it? The first step I want you to do is write the word cool below this video. Write it now. As soon as you hit the send button, I will reach out to you. Well, when I can, I will reach out to you and we will book a free call, right? A completely, what's the word? What's the word that I'm thinking of? Oh, for God's sake, come on. Commitment free, that's the one. A completely commitment-free call, right? You don't have to go out with coaching. Just because you're jumping on a call with me doesn't mean that you need to commit to coaching. Okay, we're going to jump on a call. We're going to book it for maybe 1 or 2 weeks time. We're going to jump on a call, and then what we're going to do is we're going to figure out and uncover what is stopping you personally, because I can give you all the tips, right? I can give you all the information. Maybe only one little thing is applying to you and you don't actually know. The good thing about having a conversation with me is I can find that out for you. I can sift through all your bullshit that you're telling yourself, or the lies or the excuses or the reasons that you're telling yourself, but I can understand what the true driving force is, or the true stopping force in you not actually taking action. So we'll get on a call, or we'll book a call, we'll get on the call. And if at the end of the call, you're like, no, Bianca, coaching's not for me, I just wanted to see what this call was about, totally fine, totally fine. The fact that you're in here already gives you the go ahead to jump on a call, right? That is your, that is kind of like your gift to me, is we can get on a call. At the end of that, I'm going to give you 3 clear steps, 1, 2, 3, of what I want you to do next in order to get you to your goals. I'm going to make sure that they are completely clear and you are understanding of that. And then I will let you go. Totally fine, totally commitment free. If you decide that coaching is something for you, then awesome. I can describe to you the different coaching programs that I offer. We can tailor something that's bespoke to you and go from there. But again, if it's not for you, that's totally fine. So thank you for letting me get that out of the way. Otherwise, I always forget. And do you know what? I'd be a rubbish businesswoman if I didn't urge you guys to actually take fucking action, right? And this whole video is about not taking action. There are so many people in this group that have come into this group for weight loss and still haven't taken action on any of the videos. You know who you are. If you're watching this, you know who you are. Because we talk all the time and you're like, yeah, I'll just watch that video. Yeah, I'll take that video. But you're not actually taking action. So your first step is to make that call. If we've already spoken before and you're still not taking action, we'll see if we can get, I'll see if I'll give you a second call. I'll see if we can give you a second call. Maybe the first time wasn't right. So anyway, let's move on. I'm sorry, I'm playing with my hair a lot today. I don't mean to be rude and just be like all vain and shit. That's not me. Go away, Zoom. Thank you. Right. I'm not going to be able to pick that back up again, am I? Okay, so I have just disappeared on my screen, and that's totally fine because I don't want to look at myself anyway. I just want to be talking to you. So first of all, yes, I'm going to say it. You're going to need to start setting some clear goals. How many of you, and please just say hashtag me too. Actually, don't. That's a bad hashtag to use. Hashtag me or just me. How many of you are wondering why you're not taking action when you haven't even set the clear parameters and boundaries and goals yet? How many of you have gone, I want to lose weight. Why am I not taking action? And that's all that you've said in terms of your goals. I just want to lose weight. No. There's no way you can expect yourself to actually take action, to actually follow through on everything, if all you have done is just said, I want to lose weight. I want to be healthier. I want to adopt a plant-based lifestyle, right? This entire training video is going to be for you, not just for weight loss, but for you, for those of you who want to adopt a plant-based lifestyle, or even pick up any habit, right? Anything that you want to do, but you're not doing. This video training is for you. So you really need to set some clear outline, some clear boundaries and clear goals. This is what I want. This is when I want to achieve it. If you haven't heard of SMART goals, I highly suggest you go and give it a quick Google. SMART goals are a way to break down your goals so they are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So what that does is it really breaks down your goals to give you a clear path and clear outline and clear objectives to make sure that you can follow through in a way that you haven't followed through before. Now, you can set this for business. You can set this for a plant-based lifestyle, adopting a new diet. You can set it for a new hobby. Maybe you're studying. Maybe you want to figure out a way to get through the books. Whatever it is, you can use SMART goals to create your plan. It's like your action plan. Okay, you need to have some clear objectives, which is going to provide a lot more motivation and direction. The problem that I see a lot of people facing when they want to do something and they know what to do, but they're just not doing it, is they simply haven't created a clear action plan. And that's all I want you to do to start off with. Okay, now this is going to help pinpoint or help you understand what might be a big obstacle for you. So my second point here is to understand what your obstacles are, identify them, right? If you're sitting here and saying, Bianca, I have no idea why I'm not doing anything, then I want you to take some time, grab a pen and paper and write down, what are my obstacles? What are my barriers? Identify what the barriers are from preventing you from taking action, because there is something. There could be multiple things that are stopping you, but you need to understand what they are. It could be emotional triggers. Like, for example, I don't want to go on a diet because I've been on diets before. And for me, a diet is traumatic. So it could be an emotional trigger. Maybe it's a lack of time. Maybe, for example, you'll say, oh, but dieting or losing weight, it takes a lot of time because I've got to do a lot of meal prep. It just takes time. Maybe that's your reason. Maybe that's your obstacle. Maybe social pressure. You want to fit into the people that you love and surround yourself with. Maybe if losing weight, that kind of creates a different identity for you. Maybe you don't want to lose weight because you don't want to be different in your social environment, right? Or maybe you are just too in love with your unhealthy habits. Whatever your reasons are, whatever your obstacles are, get them on paper, right? Especially if you're going to book a call with me, get them on paper, because I would love to see what your perception of your obstacles are versus what I can see what your obstacles are as well. So one key factor there is to identify your obstacles. Once you figure these out, you can then take the action plan and create some reasonable steps to work around this. Change your mindset. But you can't change your mindset if you don't know what the obstacle is in the first place. Like I said with the SMART goals, what we want to do is actually create a plan, right? So we want to develop a really detailed plan that includes meal planning, exercise routines, schedule for implementing dietary changes. Having a plan makes it easier to follow through, right? That's just an example for weight loss, but whatever it is that you're working on, you can create that plan. That is part of the SMART goals, and that is part of that first point that I made. Now, with this, you can also track your progress. So it's really important to make sure that you are tracking the key factors that is going to show how you are progressing through. What I see a lot is people don't realize that they are making changes until they look at the data, right? So people don't realize that they're losing this weight until I show them, my clients, right? They don't realize how much weight they've lost until I show them their weight loss chart. And in their head, it's like, oh yeah, I might have lost a little bit of weight. But when they look at the weight loss chart, they're like, wow, oh my God. And a weight loss chart is like any other one. It's like a heartbeat. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to do a loop-de-loop, right? Hopefully your heartbeat doesn't do that. But it's only when they are looking and analyzing data that they actually notice something is changing. Now, this is key for motivation. Okay, so before I move on to motivation, just want to recap, track your progress. You can keep a journal, a tracking app, monitor your food take, write it all down, right? Write down your exercise program, create an exercise program to track your progress as you go through. It will help you stay accountable and identify areas for improvement as you work through, right? Once you start seeing like numerical results, so for example, you could be rating your energy levels out of 5 on a daily basis. You could be rating your nutrition on a daily basis. You could be rating your stress levels on a daily basis. This is one way to track your progress without having to go absolutely crazy and write down everything, but you've got a number to go by. So then when you map out your progress, when you map out your results, you then get to see the progress in action, right? So say, for example, your energy, you rated it for the first few weeks on average, 1 or 2 out of 5. And in the next few weeks, you rated it an average 1 to 3 out of 5, right? Then the next few weeks, you started rating your energy levels between 2 and 4. You can see over time how this is improving, but on a day-to-day basis, I guarantee you won't notice it because you'll be so focused on everything else that you've got your mind on that you won't see the little changes. And I always say it's in the little changes that make the biggest change overall. And again, the problem is we don't acknowledge them. We don't celebrate these little changes, these little wins. And it really is so important. With my clients, every single session, I will start every single session with what is going well. Give me some things that we can celebrate. Now, whether it's someone says, I got to the gym once this week, I'm proud of myself for that. Maybe it's someone says, well, I put a chocolate bar back off the shelf when I was shopping, right? It can be in the smallest little things. But when you're tracking these little things, when you're giving yourself markers to go by every single week, then you're going to have something to compare. And after a couple of weeks, you will see these numbers, these figures changing. And that is what creates motivation. Now, moving on nicely, motivation doesn't come and slap you in the face when you're lying in bed and want to get up to the gym and wondering how long it's going to take until you feel motivated to get up. Doesn't work like that. Motivation comes from seeing results. Motivation is a byproduct of actually taking action. Okay? Motivation needs to be earned. It is not given. The problem with motivation is we all sit there and wait for it to just walk on by and sit on our laps and take us off into a dreamy world where we can suddenly do everything that we want to do. We think that motivation is getting a diagnosis by the doctors, and that's going to be the thing that's going to move us on or lose weight or change our lifestyle. No, that's not. It's actually taking action, seeing the results. That's when you go, oh, look at this. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more confident. I'm feeling a little bit more confident with the program that I'm on, or with the course that I'm doing, or with the new job that I'm at. When you see that change, that is when motivation slaps you in the face, not before. Not before. And if you get this gust of energy and burst of, yes, I can do this, I want to change, usually it doesn't last long until it becomes difficult. Okay, that wasn't motivation, that was a desire to change. Don't get them mixed up. A lot of the time people say, oh, but I was really motivated when I first started the gym, or, oh, I was really motivated when I first went plant-based, and then da, 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 da. The problem is that wasn't motivation, and you're waiting for this desire to change again, to happen again, when that could have been coming from a conversation with someone, or watching a TV program, or seeing a picture of yourself. That was just a desire to change. Motivation is when you look back and go, oh my God, in just a few days, weeks, months, years, this has changed. This is awesome. I like the way this is going. That's when you feel motivated to do it. That's when the desire to change really, really kicks in, so much so that it becomes motivation. So motivation a lot. I'm going to move on. I'm going to talk now about the motivational triad. So I basically delivered a session on motivation to one of my clients this morning, and it really got me thinking about the reasons why we often stay stuck and don't take action, right? So I'm going to read out my notes here on motivation, because it's really, really important to understand, first of all, that motivation it's kind of driven by our natural instincts to stay alive, right? And what I'm talking about is this triad that is fighting for attention in our brains. Now, that's avoiding pain, exerting the least amount of energy, and seeking pleasure. Now, these are all ways in which our brain has, in the past, when we were little hairy cave women, I mean, we might still be hairy, that's totally up to you. And this was our way to keep our bodies and ourselves safe. Okay, so what I mean is that anything that was based on changing the person that we were, our environment, changing anything around us, was based on whether we would avoid pain, whether it would cost us a lot of energy, or whether it would bring pleasure, right? And this is what a lot of motivation is kind of caught up within. So let me explain this a little bit, right? So any decision or new task or idea that could result in any form of suffering or pain, so this is avoiding pain, be it real or not, so imagined or real, can result in a resistance to do that one thing. So for example, getting up for a workout in the morning, right? If the idea of going out and glorious UK weather, blistering, rainy, stormy weather, right? Sounds horrible from the comforts of your bed, right? We want to avoid that pain. We want to avoid getting to the gym, gasping for air, like absolutely exhausted from a workout, really, really tired. We want to avoid that. That seems too painful. We create this illusion that it's all so difficult and hard. And so our brain goes, whoa, that's a lot of pain. No, this bed is too comfortable and it's safe. So the brain's going to go, nah, let's stay safe. So we imagine all of that pain happening at the gym, right? And I'm just using this as an example. We imagine this as pain, and then our brain goes into survival mode and it goes, nah, I'm not going to give you any motivation right now. There is no way we are going to want to get our ass up because I want to stay safe. So that's avoiding pain. So the second part of the motivational triad is exerting the least amount of energy. So, for example, if you think about getting up and doing some meal prep on a Sunday, let's say, for example, right? If you start thinking about doing the meal prep in advance, it's not going to be painful. We know that it's not going to be painful, right? But it takes a lot of energy. Oh my God, there's a lot of time, there's a lot of energy when I could be sat on the sofa, conserving energy, watching Netflix, numbing out on social media, right? Now, again, exerting the least amount of energy was a survival mode because we didn't know when our next meal was going to come. We didn't know if we needed to run tomorrow for our entire lives, for our communities, right? Again, way back in the old times, this was a survival mechanism. Nowadays, it's just a bloody hurdle. It's a very big, difficult pain in the ass to get over, but you can get over it. And this is the thing. When we change the perspective on how to become motivated, we are able to actually motivate ourselves to move faster, to move towards the habits that we want to do. Let me know in the comments if you're with me and if this is making sense. Okay, so exerting the least amount of energy. We might perceive that doing the meal prep on a Sunday is going to take up so much energy. So then your brain is going to create all of this resistance. Oh my God, it's such a long task. It's going to take a lot of energy. There's a lot of brain power. No, thank you. I'm going to sit here and watch Netflix because that sounds so much better instead. Your brain's gone into survival mode, kicked in and gone, absolutely not, takes too much time. Okay, so how do we get around this? Well, we can make these healthy habits that we want to implement, like meal prep, just small, tiny, and incremental, right? One at a time. If you throw in an entire 4 hours worth of meal prep into your routine that you are totally not used to, then of course your brain's going to go, no way, that is way too much effort. No, thanks. So what you want to do is just sneak it in. Or maybe what I'll do is I'm going to prep my breakfasts for the week. I'm going to put all my oats, maybe I'm going to do some soaked oats in little jars for the week. And that's that. Cool. So for the first few weeks, you do that. This becomes normal behavior, right? So then it's normal. This is your next level normal. Then a couple of weeks' time, you can start prepping lunches or maybe even snacks, right? Depends how much resistance your brain is throwing up. So a few weeks after that, before you know it, you're actually in the rhythm of doing Sunday meal prep. Maybe you do your entire breakfast, lunch, and dinners on a Sunday, but because you have gone up step by step. And with each step, you are taking it a little bit at a time, which means that your brain is not thinking and not going into overdrive thinking, oh my God, this is so much energy that I need to use up. Again, let me know if this makes sense. Finally, seeking pleasure. This is the main part of creating motivation, right? So just think, all of the things that I've talked about today so far is within the motivational part of why you're not doing something. Okay, so take what I've said, break it down, and look at this motivational triad. Is this affecting my reasons for not taking action, right? Does it feel too painful? Does it feel like a lot of energy? Is it because it seems boring? And if it does, let's look at the seeking pleasure element of motivation. So seeking pleasure, our brains are going to want to do stuff that feels good, right? It wants some serotonin. It wants some dopamine. It wants to be happy. It wants to be happy. It wants to be joyful. And that's just what it wants. It doesn't want to be sad. It doesn't want to be anxious or depressed. That's cool. But what that means is that seeking pleasure needs to be found in the healthy habits, right? So habits are the automatic choices or routines that we make on a daily basis that ultimately determine the quality of life that we have. So manifesting goals is based on the habits, the little actions that we take on a daily basis, right? Now, pleasure actually drives habit loops, right? Our habits are also built on what feels most pleasurable to us because we have just got in the rhythm of doing stuff that feels good. I don't know about you, but have you ever walked out the house once without brushing your teeth by mistake? Maybe you got like, or I've done it once with deodorant and I've gone like, because I've put on my clothes first or something. I've done it the other way around, or I'm getting ready to go to the gym and I run out the door and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to brush my teeth. It feels so gross, or personally, I felt so gross. My mouth, I was just like, no, I need to go back and brush my teeth. That waking up, washing your face, brushing your teeth, for example, is your habit loop, right? That's what you do on repeat. And the reason why I brush my teeth before I leave the house, not so I don't need to offend everyone, but because that also feels good. It feels fresh. It feels clean. I wouldn't dare try and leave the house without doing that. Not because, again, I don't want to offend everyone, but because it feels good. And this is a perfect example, just a small example, but a perfect example of how our habits are on loop, on what feels pleasurable. So what we then need to do is find the pleasure in these healthy habits that you want to adopt. Whether it's losing weight, we need to find the pleasure in doing that activity. How can you bring extra joy, extra pleasure in the things that you're doing? Can you rope in a friend, rope in a family member, right? Can you reward yourself with something while you're doing that? Can you create that into a reward? So to recap, what's really important is you having very smart, clear goals. You need an action plan, right? Together, these create a very, very strong fundamentals and roadmap for you to get to exactly where you want. Break it down as minuscule as you can, week by week. What do you want to change? Now, identify the obstacles along the way. What is a really big issue for you? Is it your lack of time? Is it your social pressure? Is it emotional triggers? Okay, understand what is stopping you. You might be here thinking, okay, I know everything that I want to do, but I don't know why I'm not doing it. When was the last time you sat down with pen to paper and asked yourself, why am I not doing the things that I know that I should be doing? Once you kind of block yourself from the world, sit down, a lamp, a notebook, and a pen. Once you escape in that little world of understanding what your brain is doing, then you'll actually understand what your obstacles are. If you just sit here and go, oh, maybe it's because of this and because of that, you might not come to a conclusion. Remove yourself, grab a pen and paper, go and sit down, find out what your obstacles are, create your plan, set your action steps, and understand that motivation isn't going to come and slap you in the face, especially if you know everything already. You've probably been here a while thinking, oh God, I know everything and I've known everything for a while. I'm just not taking the action. Learn how to manipulate the motivational triad to work in your favor. Okay, so learn how what you're looking at doing can avoid pain or this misconception that you will be in pain, to exert the least amount of energy and to seek pleasure. Manipulate that motivational triad. What I want you guys to do is let me know if this has made sense to you, if I've just gone off on a complete tangent, or if this is really useful information for you. Okay, don't forget to track your progress. Again, it's really important to see the individual steps as you take them mapped out, because that is what kicks in the motivation as well. Okay, that desire to keep growing, right? That then feels pleasurable to you. Don't forget to reward yourself. It's okay to reward yourself, not with food if you're on a weight loss journey. Reward yourself with some self-care, with some time off. You have the power to change. That sounds so cheesy, but you literally have the power to change. It is your decision to change. That's it. No one else. You've just got to understand what is stopping you, what is getting in your way, how you can shift that, and how you can manipulate your motivational parts of the brain to create real change. Again, I'm going to tell you one more time. Write the word call below. We will organize a call maybe in the next 1 or 2 weeks, where we'll jump on a call and I'll give you 3 clear steps to take from here. If you don't want coaching, totally fine. I'm not offended. It is a commitment-free call. I hope this was really useful for you. Please write some comments in the box. Let me know if you've watched this. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if you need any more information. Take care, guys. Until next week, I'll see you later.